Big deep breaths. What do you think of my cool camera, Lisa? Ooh, I know. Oh, that's nice. Lisa and I are here. We're just setting our intention for today. We're just finding a little relaxation here before we get started. Bringing our breaths back to normal breathing. Child in the background right now. All right, well, we're down here on the floor. We're going to start today just with a little bit of hip mobility. So you're going to bring your legs into like 290-degree angles, and then you're just going to lean forward and feel that stretch, breathing into it. Part of the mobility here is just going to be switching sides, bringing the opposite knee down, leaning forward from the hips, feeling that nice stretch. Maybe find one side feels a little bit tighter, or you're noticing there's a little extra stretch in one hip. And then we're going to bring it up on our mat. We're just going to step one foot forward, keeping one foot down. Oh, I did get out of the screen. Look at that. Leaning forward. Gotta play with my little camera here. Let's back up a little bit. There we go. Stretching out through that hip flexor. Really squeeze that glute on the sides of the knees down into the ground. It'll give you more stretch into the front of the hip. And then switch sides. On the other side, lean forward into that stretch a little bit. And then from here, we're going to go right into a few inchworms. So we're going to go, I kind of like did a backwards inchworm there, but all the way up to the top, bringing our hands up to the sky, rolling it down, walking our hands out, bringing ourselves into plank, tummies pulled in tight. You can do a push-up here if you want, totally optional. Knees or toes, feeling that nice stretch in the back side of your legs as you walk yourself back up standing. Repeat. Go at your pace. I'm not going to give you a set number of these that you need to do. Really focus on hinging from the hips as you go up and down. Getting some nice, big, deep breaths. Just bringing that movement back in. Do this for 30 more seconds, however many you get in is completely fine. one. Very nice. All right. We are going to bring it down to our mat. And we are going to start with activating that core. So, laying all the way down onto our mat, resting our head on the ground, getting our lower back pressed into the ground, so tucking our hips under, really engaging those deep core muscles. We're just going to start by alternating, picking up the foot, one foot after the other. Really focusing on keeping those deep core muscles engaged. Keeping our low back down on the ground, keeping everything in our hips nice and stable. I'm hoping someone did just send a message like, you know, your volume's off or something crazy like that. Okay, we're good. Keep going. Reset if you need to. Make sure that the lower back stays hinged to the floor. Deep core muscles engaged. Belly button spine. All the things. From here, keeping that same motion, we're going to go into a really slow bicycle. So we're going to bring our hands behind our head, and then we're going to extend this leg and lower it to whatever level you feel comfortable. So you can keep the knees a little bit higher, you can extend the legs a little bit longer, whichever works for you. And we're just going to go really slow, alternating arm to knee, really focusing on the obliques and those core muscles on top. And by going really slow, we should get to that like shaky, bumpy road feeling really quickly. It's rebel crap over here. Take a peek at those hip bones. They should not be shifting as your legs are moving. Your core is engaged, so everything's staying nice and stable here in the middle. The obliques are activating so that you can get that twist of the elbow to the knee. All the things going on right now. So slow. So hard to go slow. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Counting that slow is almost kind of hard. All right, and then we're gonna rest for a second, bring yourself back down to the mat, let your neck and shoulders relax. We're gonna do an oblique crunch. So you're gonna crunch to the right, and then crunch to the left, really focusing on bringing that rib to hip bone, feeling that contraction in the side-leg waistline, and we're gonna alternate from side to side, and we're gonna go for 1 minute. So go at your pace, keeping that core engaged. Those shoulder blades are just lightly coming up and off the floor of the mat. And it shouldn't take long for you to feel this. Especially if you're like really making that brain to muscle connection. You can get a pretty good side contraction there, and you hardly even have to move. Still keeping that belly button tucked in. Lower back pins to the floor. The transverse is activated. Oh, we're getting all the sides of the core here right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Bring yourself to a nice full body stretch, arms and legs, and reach them out nice and long. deep breath. All right, we're gonna go to some leg lowers. So, tucking the tailbone under, we're gonna bring those legs up. We're gonna bring our shoulder blades up off the ground if that is what we're comfortable with. If not, just leave your neck and shoulders down on the ground. And we're gonna alternate side to side, lowering a leg, making sure that we're keeping everything nice and controlled. Everything staying nice and level here. Our hips are not shifting up and down or side to side. This is coming from the core. Nice and slow. This is another one where it should not take long and you will definitely start to feel it. If you feel like your leg is too long of a lever, you can bend your knee a little bit as you drop it down to the floor. Otherwise, challenge yourself. Really try to keep that in your core. Try to keep it out of your hip flexors. There's where you really have to focus. And then we're gonna do a little bit of a challenge right here. If you want it, it's your choice. See how low you can go, controlled with both legs. How low can you control them without letting too much movement happen here in the hips, without letting the back go into a big arch? Control it, bring it back up. Go at your pace. You go nice and slow. You can bring your hands behind your head if you need to, if you need that little bit of extra support. Focus, focus, focus. Bring those legs back up. If your levers are too long, bend the knees a little bit. Kind of play with it. See where you have to go to maybe get the most out of it or challenge yourself the most. I know I cannot do very many with my legs up like this. All right. From here, we're going to go we got a few variations here. We're going to start long, one knee up. And this is kind of a teaser here, like off of Pilates, but you're going to bring yourself nice and controlled all the way up, and then bring one leg up, and then you're going to lay yourself all the way down, and you're going to switch legs. Arms all the way down, roll yourself all the way up, bring a leg up. We're only going to do one leg at a time because it's really hard to do both legs. And switch. We're just alternating side to side, doing a little roll up. You really want to keep that roll up coming from the core. Don't let like too much momentum and rolling to try to bring yourself up. If you cannot do it with your leg straight, do it with your leg bent, because you'll feel it in your quads. If those quads decide that they want to take over, they'll all of a sudden just kind of grab on and they'll be like, ow, this is hard. This is super hard. Oh my word. So if you need a little bit of an extra challenge, so I did this yesterday because I was in the sand and I was on the beach, and for some reason doing this in the sand feels easier than doing this on dry land. I don't know why. But you would start all the way long, bring yourself up, controlled, and see if you can bring both feet up at the same time. Now my legs are definitely straight. I cannot keep my legs straight, and then you put them down, and then roll yourself back down, arms nice and long. There's no set number of those that you need to do. It's just a give it a try type of thing. See if you can do it. Otherwise, go to just alternating one leg at a time, side to side. It's definitely a challenge. Lisa's feeling the challenge over here today. So that was your fun, like, super challenging exercise. So let's bring it all the way down, arms and legs out long, feeling a nice full body stretch here. And And then we'll roll it onto our tummy. We'll do a little upward dog. Gently feeling our stretch all of our core. Continuing to breathe. And then that is going to put us in the perfect position on all fours. So we're going to go on to all fours. Don't forget what we did with keeping that core nice and tight. So tummy is up and in, core is nice and tight, and we're going to pulse the heel to the ceiling, keeping everything nice and stable in our middle to really activate that glute. So let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And switch sides. Core nice and stable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now you've woken up the core and the glute. So let's add on to that a little bit, and we're going to go for 20 total, alternating arm and leg. We're just going to go nice and slow. 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Very nice. We are going to introduce a little bit of a new exercise here for us today that you can do with or without weights. It's going to be your choice. We're going to do 20 total. So we're going to bring ourselves up to standing. We're going to place our feet shoulder width apart. Lisa actually doesn't have shoes on today, which is great because she's really going to be able to feel the ground and plant her feet very strong. We want our knees to go out. We don't want them to collapse in. Core engaged so that we're nice and strong through our middle. And we are going to do a squat, which doesn't sound in itself all that crazy, but we haven't done them here before. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And something that we're really focusing on with that squat was as we went down, we were keeping our core engaged. Our squat was in our legs. We weren't going down because we were leaning forward. We were going down we're using our legs and our glutes. So sometimes when we squat, core form would be we're going down, but we're also like leaning. We're like, oh, we got so low. Okay, no, we didn't actually get so low. Let's try to keep our body a little more upright and sink forward in the legs, keeping that core really engaged. So once we have really good form with our squat, then we can add on. We can add some heel raises, we can add some weights, we can grab hand weights, we can grab a body bar, all that fun stuff so that we're getting the most out of our squat. All right, so we're going to bring it down to the floor, and I'll show you a little add-on here that you can do with the bridge. So we've been doing a lot of bridges, so feet shoulder width apart, down on the ground, core engaged so that low back pressed into the floor, activating the transverse, pressing down through our full foot as we breathe up and really activate that glute. So right here is our classic bridge. What you can do is if you need a little bit extra, you can put a band around your knees and really push out into that band, activate the side of the glutes, or you can grab a pair of hand weights. You can hold them right here on your hip bones, and you're just going to add a little bit of extra weight to those glutes to press up into. And since we're here in the gym, you could also grab one of these fun little body bars right here and do the same thing. Set the body bar, tailbone tucked under, raise up into that bridge. How many more do you think we should do? We should probably do 20 good, like solid ones. Sure. Stay right here. All right. So let's go for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reset down here at the bottom. If you're at home or if you're here in the gym and if you add weight, we're going to go into a marching bridge. And what the bar does for us is it really provides a very honest feedback to us of whether or not our hips are staying level. It does if we're holding the weight in dumbbells as well. If we tip from side to side at all right now, we're really going to feel that weight shift when we go to one foot. So let's go into our bridge. So glutes engaged, bringing it up, okay? Keeping the power in our glutes. We want to not feel that weight shift from side to side. We want to stay nice and stable in our hips. And we alternate picking up a foot. So as I'm picking up a foot, you're going to notice that bar does not drop down to the side. My glute is super engaged on the opposite side of the knee that's coming up. And my core is super engaged. And that is what's helping to keep this bar nice and level. I'm not doing it with my hands. My hands are just kind of like holding it here so that it doesn't roll away. Go for 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, carefully remove the weight, set it aside. We've got one more exercise where we're going to get the whole self involved here. If you have a weight, you may use it. Got a little pop up on the screen here. Sorry, let me move that. So we've got with or without a weight, or maybe with a towel, just something at home. This is going to be an anti-rotation exercise. So we're not letting our body fall out of its neutral straight alignment. So we're going to go into plank with that weight right under us, kind of like under our face. So finding a nice stable position, glutes are engaged, shoulders are back, core is activated. And what you're going to do is you are going to take that weight, set it from one side to the other, and your goal here is to keep try to keep your whole body nice and stable. You are really going to feel that core engaged as it tries to keep you from falling from one side to the other. Because if I were to do this without keeping my glutes engaged, I would twist, and I would twist to the other side as I moved it. Because yeah, that's way easier. Totally way easier. But what we want to do is keep everything nice and straight. In a nice strong line here as I move that weight from side to side. 3, 2, 1. And that exercise is not so much a quantity exercise as it is a quality exercise. We do enough of them that if we can't hold good form anymore, we need to take a little break, we need to reset, or we need to be done with them if we did too many of them. At least we did too many of them. All right, let's go into a nice figure 4 stretch, putting one foot up and over that knee. You can lay down, you can sit up, whatever's comfortable for you to do this stretch. And you're going to feel a nice stretch all up through that glute. Breathing into it. Just being very gentle with ourselves. Letting that stretch go where it needs. And go switch sides. Breathe opposite ankle, the opposite knee. Trying not to let, like I'm sitting up, so what I want to do is not let myself like shift from side to side. Just gotta be very honest with myself. Okay, do I need to put this leg out a little bit further, or can I pull it in a little bit closer? Where do I kind of go off kilter here when I'm doing this stretch? If I pull my knee in really close, I start to shift to the side. So I have to set my foot out a little bit further, and then my hips stay nice and level. I can still feel a really good stretch in my hip. And our hips and our glutes tend to get a little neglected. They get a little tight, especially if you're sitting all day. So maybe in your day today, you want to take a little movement snack in your afternoon and just get up and walk around, shift from side to side, stretch a little bit. All right. It's so fast. It goes so fast. A half an hour goes so fast. I could go on for like an hour. Thank you for joining us today.